Well, I fessed up on Facebook today. I didn't want hundreds of people sending me messages and worrying about me. The reason I booked off on Saturday is I tested positive for COVID-19. Both I did and Travis did. Yet, everybody around us tested negative, including my wife. So, whether it's a false positive or whether I have it, I don't know. If this is what COVID-19 feels like after you've been vaccinated, then bring it on. I mean, I find it hard to believe. The only symptom at all I had was last week at Miami Valley. Had a little bit of a headache, but it had been hot and cold and hot and cold. I had no reason to think, especially since I was vaccinated, had no reason to believe that I had COVID. One of the people tested positive at Adeline's daycare 2 weeks ago. We kept an eye on everybody, and nobody had any symptoms, so we never thought anything of it. And then when Travis went to go home the other day, he had to get a negative test to get back into Canada, which he failed. So Travis tested positive, I tested positive. The lady that tested us said they both could be false negatives. Hard to believe, but possible. But what the rule is here in Ohio is 10 days from your symptoms, you're cleared to go back to work. Positive or negative test after that. She said you could test positive for a month after that. So my 10th day would be tomorrow, Wednesday. So I scheduled for another test just to be safe tomorrow, but I didn't want everybody worried about me. The reason I booked off Saturday was out of, I had to, out of an abundance of responsibility and concern for everybody. I booked off Saturday, wasn't driving Sunday, Monday, so got a test. I'll have a test on Tuesday. So I suspect it will come back negative. I don't suspect there's going to be any issues, and I am not sick, so to speak. I've had no symptoms since last weekend, but did test positive for COVID-19. Now, and Jason's entire side tested negative. Everybody on Jason's side, including Jason Kirby, Billy Davis, everyone tested negative. My own wife tested negative. And we aren't to that stage yet where we sleep in different rooms. So it's very odd that I would test positive and she would test negative, especially since I'm fully vaccinated and she is not. So it's odd, but it is what it is. I didn't want to alert anybody. Keep in mind, we're Canadians here in Ohio. I don't want to make a big deal about Anthony McDonald testing negative and then getting a bunch of people worried. If this was Canada, they'd have the RCMP at our house right now painting a big X on our garage or something. Obviously, things are dealt with a little bit differently over here. I don't want to say it's more lax or less severe. It is, but I think they treat everybody in a common sense way. You tested positive. When was a symptom of COVID that you had? Well, it was last weekend. Okay, 10 days from then you can go back to work. It's pretty common sense. So I'm very happy with the fact that I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't get sick. I didn't have to, obviously, God forbid, go to the hospital. None of our kids came down sick. Amy tested negative. Jason, everybody tested negative. And a couple of the kids that felt maybe a little under the weather like I did, just kind of isolated and quarantined. So an unfortunate stumble here in Ohio, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. Thankfully, everybody is doing well, and we will get through this in the next couple of days. So sorry I wasn't completely upfront with everybody, but obviously I didn't want it out there that that I had tested positive. I don't want a bunch of rumors started and a bunch of, a million questions from people that are really just looking to gossip. So I knew our clients obviously were only worried about the health and well-being of myself, my family, and everybody else attributed to the stable. But at the same time, 900 people is 900 people, probably over 1,000 on this email list. So I did test positive for COVID-19. I suspect I will test negative tomorrow. Regardless, my 10 days, although in that 10 days I was around people, everybody I've come in contact with has tested negative. No concerns in that regard, and it will be business as usual within the next day or two. So now you have it. I apologize for not being completely upfront with you, but I hope you understand why. Some serious concerns and complications that surround, obviously, the pandemic and what is going on. I wasn't really sure of the rules here in Ohio, other than I knew I had to quarantine. I've done so. I've isolated. I've quarantined. I know I'm sitting in my car, but I'm in front of the house, off to myself in the room. I have my own little jail cell. So does Travis, and everybody else is fine. So, anyway, that is that. Now you guys know. That is what has taken place. But rest assured, I'm healthy. I'm fine. No symptoms, and I will be out of quarantine very, very soon. Take care.